Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Marlins Deep Dive podcast. I'm your host, Carson Cooper, and I'm with my other co host.
Noah Santiago.
And today we're going to be talking about the last 5 games that the Marlins have played in, all of which were unfortunate losses. The 3 game series versus the Brewers, and the last 2 games versus the Astros. The final game of the series is tonight, but we have a lot to talk about. The Marlins are now on an 8 game losing streak, which is, I think, the worst of this entire season so far. Noah, if I'm correct.
Correct.
Um, it's starting to feel like we're regressing a little bit here. I don't know about you, but this is definitely not the same baseball team we were watching in June. And I would say early July too. But recently, ever since the All Star break, we cannot find a win. It feels like our pitching has been very underwhelming for the most part. I speak mostly to our relievers. We have a lot of injuries. Owen Casey obviously has been injured for a solid week or two. He got injured before the All Star break, right?
Yes, left calf tightness.
Yeah, Max Myers injured. I believe he went to LA the other day to go check on his neck.
He went back to Miami as a next
Yeah.
string, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he went back to Miami. Do we have any other injuries that I'm forgetting about right now?
Anthony Bender and John King are still hurt.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's really the reason why our relievers are really struggling because at a point too, like it's not just that like already I'm already pissed off at Pete Fairbanks. He's not getting enough. I guess you can say rest, bro. I know it's not rest, but like the bullpen is starting to get tired. Like you can start to see them struggling a lot more than they were, especially in June and July. It feels like the break actually hurt us more than it did help us. Is that just me? Like, I feel like coming off this break, we've been a lot slower. Does that make any sense?
No, I see what you're saying. As you said, our bullpen was the best in baseball in June, and now they just can't seem to find a way to close out the game. I mean, Michael Peterson's been great as always, but Lake Balker has had his fair share of struggles lately, and Pete Fairbanks is doing Pete Fairbanks things. Fauché can't seem to get anything going, as his ERA is 13.5 in the month of July. So
I didn't even know that. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know it was that
yeah,
bad.
it's really bad.
I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. Okay. Anyways, last time I talked to you all, we talked about how important that the Milwaukee Brewers series was going to be, not only for our confidence as a team, but as the playoff standings would go, it'd be very good to pick up a win against a quality team like this. Let's go talk about it now. Game one, the Brewers won 2-1, walk off fashion.
In extra innings.
In extra innings. This was a rough game. The
Uh,
offense could not get anything going. Other than Griffin Conine going yard. If I'm correct, was this the game that Griffin Conine went yard?
yes, Griffin Conine had a solo shot in the fifth inning.
Fifth, and then they responded literally like immediately right after.
Yep.
But honestly, like that wasn't even a bad game by our pitching staff. In all of these games that we're going to talk about, it feels like the Marlins get either one or the other. They either get a great pitching performance and our offense is just really slow, or our offense starts to pick it up a little bit, and then our relievers or our starting pitchers start to struggle at the end of their start, and it feels like we let the game slip away from us, and then, yeah. So it felt Milwaukee's pitching during the entire series was literally elite. In two of the games we played against them, they held us to 1 run. In game two, we actually scored 6 runs, but like I said, we gave up 8 runs because whenever our offense is humming, it felt like our pitchers were letting us down. Uh, let's go with the highlight player of game one. Obviously, Griffin Conine's solo shot home run. He's been showing a lot of promise recently. How many homers has he had in the last few games? I feel like he's had 2 or 3, right?
Three.
Three.
He had a stretch where he had 3 homers in 3 consecutive games, dating back to the last game of the Guardian series. He had that big home run in game one. He hit one over 404 foot backside in game two. and he had another extra base hit last night. He's been starting to pick up the bat lately. His OPS is over 900 this season, and he's his discipline has gotten a lot better at the plate. He's no longer swinging at everything, and he's honestly might be one of the strongest players in the MLB.
Now, if I remember correctly, I'm not going to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I do remember, I think, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was me, but I know for sure that one of us was talking about Griffin Conine being one of those potential stars. I think it was me in the last episode. I think I was talking about Griffin Conine as one of those guys who brings explosiveness to this offense. And sure enough, he goes out and performs the way he did. Uh, Unfortunately, 10th inning, Blake Bacher gives up the walk-off hit, but honestly, there's not much you can do. The Marlins offense could not get anything going in the extra innings, and unfortunately, we lose the game 2-1. Rough way to start off the series versus the Brewers, but hopefully, we were trying to look for a bounce back with Max Meyer on the mound for game two, and he went 3 innings pitched, 74 pitches. One of his worst starts, I would say, for the last few months. This was his first game back from the All Star break, so we hadn't seen him since before the All Star break, right?
Yes, correct. He struggled a lot with his command early in the game.
Or
He
no, did
walked.
he pitch against Cleveland? I think he did. No.
No, he did not.
Okay.
Yeah, he struggled against with his command, walking 3 in 3 innings. His final stat line went 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts, and 74 pitches. And then he was taken out of the game with what was supposedly a neck injury. He is now on the IL, which is a huge loss for the Marlins pitching staff, which has been tossed around by injuries all year. It seems that if we get one player back, two more go on the IL. We just got Jensen Junk back, and now Max Meyer, our ace, is hurt again.
I will say this. I'll say that this is why it's always a great thing to have Sandy, right? Because like we did lose an ace, that obviously hurts a lot. But just knowing that like our starting pitcher rotation now that Yuri's cooking, which we'll get to him in a little bit, but having Sandy and Yuri is such like a bonus, especially if you lose a guy like this. Like I'm not as worried for our starting pitchers as I am our relief pitchers right now. Um, but yeah, no, it definitely does suck to lose Max. 74 pitches though, man, 3 innings. That's literally one pitch away from averaging 25
25
pitches
in
an
the league.
inning. Like that is not very good. And if you have I feel like a performance like that from your pitcher, I don't know about me, but that would bring down the mood. Like I know we talk about mood and energy a lot, but especially at this point when you're on what was it, a 4 game losing streak, and then your starting pitcher comes out and it sort of feels like it's a snowball effect to the rest of the team. Obviously our offense did pretty good. Um but man, bro, like I think this was the game Fauché came in, right? Was this the one that Fauché like sort of let things slip away?
Yes, 0.2 innings, 4 runs.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah.
I do want to give props to Cade Gibson, though. He's been on fire lately.
There
Uh,
has there has been like times where certain pitchers in our bullpen, like I remember Peterson was having a very good stint, Bacher was having a good stint for a minute there. Pete Fairbanks went like a few games without giving up a run, but obviously that did not last.
Peterson's still having a very good stint.
Yeah, he still is. Obviously Bender too, John King. Unfortunate that they're on the IL right now. We would, dude, if we if we had either one of those, I would rather like John King be a closer than Pete Fairbanks. Like,
Absolutely. Or Michael Peterson. He's probably our most
yeah,
clutch.
yeah, he is. He's gotten us out of a lot of jams. Let's go on to game three though. Yuri Perez had one of his best starts of the year. Again, it feels like we've said that a bunch of times throughout, like a bunch of his last few starts. 6 innings, only one hit,
One
no earned
hit that
runs.
that could have been counted as an error, as their hit
Yeah,
was a hard liner to Leo Jimenez, who misplayed it. I do understand the hit call. It was a very hard hit,
yeah.
but
But
you know,
it honestly, it doesn't even matter. 6 innings. One hit, no earned runs, 9 strikeouts, almost double digit strikeouts. Like that is what we were hyped up as Marlins fans, and I wouldn't say expecting, but that is something that a lot of Marlins fans were hoping that Yuri Perez would be able to start showing some of his promise, even though he's very young. Obviously, is he 23? 23 years old? How old
I
is?
I I believe so. And
Okay,
after some early struggles to the year where his ERA skyrocketed to I think it was 5.11, I believe, he has um put the pedal to the metal and hasn't looked back. Since May 20, he has had an ERA of just 1.14.
yeah, that's incredible. You can't ask for much more from him, literally. And we're gonna have to talk about it because it's the giant elephant in the room. The final
Yes,
score of this
and
game was 3-1, and you might be wondering, oh, but Yuri went 6 innings, no runs allowed. Oh,
we had Ruiz go yard in the
yeah.
fifth inning.
Once again, though, our offense just couldn't get run support. Like I know, obviously, we're gonna talk about it in like literally 10 seconds. But our offense just is so inconsistent right now, and that is in part to the reason why we are in an 8 game slump right now. But in the ninth inning, when it mattered most, the Marlins have a 1-0 lead while everyone's watching the World Cup final, except Noah here because he doesn't like soccer. Um, we all probably turned our games off because we're like, oh, we got one out. This should be an easy win. Clayton McCullough, have you learned nothing? Have you absolutely not watched every baseball game? You are the manager. You literally watch every game. Please explain to me why Pete Fairbanks is going in a 1-0 game in the ninth inning against the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the best teams in the league, when you know he's been struggling. When you know he's been struggling. And what does that get you? A 3-1, 3-run walk-off home run to beat the Marlins. And
Horrible pitch too. Gave him a cookie right down the middle.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and to sweep the series. So not only did we get our asses kicked, you single handedly have lost now back to back series. The fan base is now starting to get out of it again. With all the momentum you just had, it feels like all the hot air has finally been exhaled, blown out, nothing left. Like the fan base is in shambles right now. You even have a lot of people watch the Mario guy. He literally is making episodes like recaps in Korean because of how dog shit the team has been. Sorry for cursing, but it has been bad. Like it has been so horrible that yeah, it's inexcusable at this
it
point.
gets to a point.
It does get to a point. Pete Fairbanks, something needs to happen. I don't care if he's traded. I don't care if he's DFA'd. I don't care how much money you have to take a hit on, bro. He needs to go. He is a cancer to the team. He has a horrible attitude because I don't know about me, but every time I watch him on the TV, he
Yeah,
just looks
I know what
like
you're talking about, and I
looks
agree.
pissed off. Like I think he's a secret agent for the Rays, flat out. Like he's got to be. Like there's no way, in no way, shape, or form is he actually like trying. Because
Yeah,
if
and I
he is,
remember earlier this season, right? We had a
go ahead. You were
4-1 lead
saying.
against the Rays in the ninth inning. Pete Fairbanks comes in. He allows two
Oh,
runs and loads the bases before we have to
you
take him
you
out.
you you cut
So
out there a little bit. I won't even lie. You cut out there.
I was saying that Pete Fairbanks came in against the Rays early this season. We were up 4-1 at ninth inning. He allows two runs and loads the bases, and then we have to take him out.
Yeah. It feels like, and it's not even just the clutch situations, bro. It's the moments where the Marlins are up 4 runs in a game, and now their team's back within two, and we win. But instead of it being a 4 run win, it's a 2 run win. And then if he can't handle business in those situations, why do you think it's okay to put him in the situations where it's 1-0? Why do you think it's okay to put him in the situations where it's two or it's 3-3-1 or 3-2 or maybe it's like a shootout and it's like 8-7. The bats are alive. Oh, let's put in Pete Fairbanks. Said no one ever. Other than you, Clayton McCullough, you are the only one who has actually had hope in this guy. Maybe other than like Pete Fairbanks and the rest of his teammates, but even then, I think the teammates like it. The teammates are literally saying what we're saying. It gets to a point. Like it gets to a point where we're just losing baseball games on a consistent basis, or games are being way too close than they should be, because we're deciding to put in our supposed closer. Please note that I did put in air quotations. I know there's no camera, but just know that I did it because it's absolutely crazy what Pete Fairbanks has done for us production wise. That's the end of the Brewers series. Rough 3 game series, rough 2 series actually versus the Guardians of the Brewers. 6 straight losses going into the Astros, hoping for a little bit of life, trying to break the slump. And Jansen Junk didn't have a very good performance.
No, he allowed a grand slam in the second inning, and then Jordan hit one the very next batter. He went 4 innings, 6 runs. It wasn't great. Struggled with his command a little bit. Missed his location on a lot of pitches. Just an ugly start all around.
Yeah. I just want to say this: Jordan Alvarez owns us.
Jeremy
Um,
Pena owns us.
no, us just say the Astros own us. That sounds better. The Astros own us. Okay, Josh Hader owns us. Jordan Alvarez owns us. Pena owns us. Like Altuve to an extent owns us. Um, I like other than Joe Mack and Liam Hicks hitting his first home run in over a month. By the way, kind of crazy. Uh, I never felt for a moment like we were gonna come back. I know it was 8-5, but like our pitching staff is so in the gutter right now. It is remarkable. In the last few games, like I'm looking at the scores, 5 runs, 8 runs, obviously the 3 runs, but we blew it. 8 runs, 2 runs. I'm seeing a
It's not
lot
great.
of numbers. I'm seeing a lot of numbers above 5, and that's not how you win baseball games. I know I'm not a pro. I know I'm not the biggest diehard fan. I love the Marlins, but I'm not like the craziest ball knower. What I do know though is that usually if you give up more than 5 runs, it's going to be very tough to win a baseball game because you're expecting a lot out of your offense. And for an offense that's really struggling right now, Stowers is in a slump, Edwards is in a slump. Harry Berto has not cooled off. Well, yeah, he's doing good. I'd say Heriberto's doing good. But like a lot of these players, Otto has cooled off a little bit. Casey's obviously injured. You can't win baseball games when your offense is starting to slow down and your pitching is just like becoming horrible. Not only is this, I think, the worst time for this to be happening, especially since we're so close to the trade deadline. Like you were so close. You were so close to getting to the trade deadline and giving this franchise hope and like, okay, let's go out and make a big trade now. Now I don't know if the Marlins are going to feel comfortable going out to make that trade. Maybe the Marlins just say, okay, this team isn't it. We're just going to finish out the season, see how we do. Like, hope it works out. But I think, like, the last 8 games have shown, well, either one of two things is going to happen. Either A, we're not going to do anything about this, which is also a very big possibility. I could see us doing this. Like, we are the Miami Marlins. I have no expectations. Number two, we could start doing what we've been doing, trading away assets when they're at their peak, which I don't want to see, right? And if they do that, that is a very big mistake, right? Like you cannot do that right now with how young this team is, and it feels like the city of Miami. I wouldn't say they're starting to like fully support. Right, we're never going to be the Phillies or the Yankees or anything like that, but it feels like more and more fans are starting to come out of their shell per se in Miami, and they're starting to get a little bit more hopeful.
I've noticed that last few
Yeah,
games I've been to, the games have definitely had more people than what we're used to seeing.
yeah, but like it's kind of hard to get those casual fans in the building when you lose 8 straight in a row and your
Yeah,
relief pitchers are giving up 3-run walk-off home runs. not consistently, but Pete Fairbanks is consistently going in the game and potentially blowing a save or blowing a save, and then your bats are starting to die off. So it's very hard to get fans in there. And then no fans, you don't have energy. The team loses life. This is how a team goes from having a very good season in a playoff spot to snowball affecting into. I'm not going to say ruining the entire season, but this is how you can ruin a season if you don't bounce back. So I think tonight is a very big game. Obviously, we haven't talked about the fifth game yet, which was Tyler Phillips starting for the Marlins. Once again, Joe Mack hits a 2-run homer, but other than that, I cannot say there was much offense. Again, only 3 runs. Tyler Phillips gave up 2 runs. Technically, there was a chance at the end, right? We brought it to. We had a crazy triple play. We had a crazy
Yeah, that
triple
was
play.
nice.
Sanoha
That
had
was
a
good.
single. Did Sanoha have a single or a double? I
I
think it was a
believe there was
double.
a double down the line.
Yeah. So you had no one out, down 2 runs. The tying batter was up to the plate, and we could do nothing with it. Um. Yeah. Do you want to talk about this game at all?
I mean, Phillips settled in after allowing 2 runs in the first 2 innings. He settled in a little bit. Um, what else? Zuber
Jordan.
did not. Zuber allowed 2 runs. He hasn't been bad necessarily this season, but he's been very inconsistent.
I don't
Jordan
know.
goes yard again. I mean, or no,
I don't know about you, but I
he
don't
had
like
two
Tyler Zuber.
hits, but
I don't like
he's
Tyler Zuber.
he's just been very inconsistent. And Xavier Edwards cannot seem to get anything going. He used to be one of the best contact hitters in the league, and now all he does is nothing but strike out. He has since the break, he has struck out in over 40% of his at bats, which is
Yeah.
unacceptable. Like over forty
Where
percent. I mean,
I don't know.
not even
Like,
Joey
what do you
Gallo
think that
struck out.
is? What do you think that is? Do you think that's him being too aggressive now? Do you think that's him being too conservative? Like, we're I don't know.
He's
I don't
being
know
a lot
stats,
more
but
aggressive.
okay.
He's starting to chase when he usually doesn't. He's late on pitches now. I'm not sure
So
what
he's
that is.
getting the Jacob Marcy effect.
And yeah, speaking of Jacob Marcy, he still can't get to seem to get anything going. It is late July, and you are batting 192. Only Jaron Duran is batting worse at 191, and I think it's time for him to be sent down to AAA or something. Like
Yeah. It gets to a point where the like Ruiz is producing more, bro. Ruiz should not be producing more than you. Because historically Ruiz is that guy that you plug and play in the eighth or ninth inning to try and swipe a bag for you. Uh, but he's now become, I dare to say, a better hitter than Marcy. Like, can you agree
I
with
have to
that?
agree. I mean, if you look at it, Ruiz has an OPS of over 800. Marcy's
Uh,
is sitting around 600. Marcy, Marcy has 3.5 times more at bats than Ruiz, and Ruiz has the same amount of home runs.
yeah,
And um,
and way less
Marcy,
starts. Way less starts too.
and then also Ruiz has what like a fifth of the playing time and the same amount of stolen bases at a much better percentage because what Marcy's been caught
Yeah.
10
If it
times.
wasn't if it wasn't for Marcy's like 3 game or the one game where he had like 3 steals or something like that, bro.
Yeah, he followed that game by getting caught the next 4 times he tried to steal.
And the thing about like I'm more scared of Ruiz on the bases. That's not even like a debate. Everyone is more scared of Ruiz on bases than they are Marcy. That is a flat out statement. Ruiz is just faster. Which honestly I think makes him. Marcy's a great defender, but like it gets to a point when defense only does you so much, especially when your relievers are doing what they're doing right now. And obviously Max Meyer going down with injury, Jansen Junk's not performing the best, Tyler Phillips not performing the best. You need offense. You flat out need offense, and we need offense like right now because we need to flip the season around. like this season has felt like a whirlwind where we started off strong. Remember the Marlins started off what, like 5-0? Was it
Five
that?
and one.
5-1. Everyone's excited about the Marlins. Started slumping a little bit, crawling into June. Then crazy bounce back. The Marlins are back, and now we're in an 8-game slump. So I don't think it's a like we are going to bounce back. I just don't know when, and I just don't know if it's going to be too late by the time we try and bounce back, sort of like last year. Because by the time we tried bouncing back, it was a little late, and I think we missed the playoffs by like 3 games, 2 games, something like that. Um, which
Well,
I
to be
think
honest, no one really expected anything of us that
no,
season. We
no,
surprised
we
everyone.
didn't.
I do
But
want to say though, I think we're tied or half a game behind from a wild card spot right now, which all things considered isn't too bad. And
no,
the the Rays have slumped this year. The Braves are currently slumping. The Cubs have lost 10 straight at one point. The
yeah,
Padres have lost like 11 straight at one point. Everyone goes through it, and it's about how you respond to it
yeah.
that matters the
hmm
most. Everyone goes
Well,
through those tough spots, but it's how we can move forward and bounce back, and that's what matters most.
yeah, and you mentioned the team we're gonna have to talk about next, the San Diego Padres. Well, obviously the game tonight versus the Astros must win. Do you know who's pitching? Is this Sandy pitching
Sandy,
tonight?
Sandy on the bump. He's been stellar since the start of June.
I I have confidence. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like this is a game that we can win. Right? I'm not gonna say any more about it. I'm not gonna say it's a must win,
It is a must win.
but yeah, 9 straight, 3 straight sweeps is rough, especially when you're like Noah just said, that close to a wild card spot. I think winning the division is out of the equation at this point. Not entirely, very unlikely though. Um,
And then, yeah, and then let's talk about the trade deadline, right? That's coming up soon in I think a
no,
week
we
and a
gotta talk
half.
about the Padres, bro. The Padres, dog. We got a series coming up against them. That's what we were gonna talk about. All right, so the keys to this series. Obviously, we've been talking about it all day. Uh, our pitchers got to start off and like really set the tone for not only the team as a whole, but obviously this fan base. Like I'm telling you right now, especially like tonight, but specifically for the next series, if you see a pitcher do what Yuri did, I feel like that's going to give our offense confidence. I think that's what we need right now, and I feel like once we get one, I think we can start stacking things. So our offense needs to keep doing lights out, or no, our pitching needs to keep doing lights out. I'm sorry, specifically our starters, because I feel like if we can get that deep into the game, I'm not saying that we should put Pete Fairbanks in, obviously, but we should definitely put in some of these other competent guys and give them confidence for shutting the door and stuff. And then obviously another key is we need Otto Lopez to step up. We didn't really talk about him much.
He's
Um,
not doing bad though.
he's
I
not
mean,
doing bad,
he did
but
get hurt in the Brewers series. A hard ground ball hit his
mm,
finger nail.
yeah, and it feels like Edwards has got to be injured. Otto's got to be injured. Hicks dealt with an injury already. Casey's dealt with an injury. Like it's been a rough year for injuries. Obviously, Conine had that big injury at the beginning of the year.
Towards
Bender,
hamstring.
King, yeah. So like the injury bug is just flowing right now, and there's not really much you can do about it. It's just unfortunate that this team has the potential to do something great, but it could end up being derailed by injuries and stuff like that. Another thing that I think we need to like really talk about is us getting very, I guess, like timely hits when we do have runners in scoring position. Because I remember in the Guardian series that was the thing we struggled with. Again, like we didn't get very many hits in the Brewers series, but a lot of our runs did come off of the long ball and in the Astros series to Joe Mack, obviously, with those homers. Griffin Conine had his homers. So it feels like the death by 1,000 cuts team that we saw in June, right? Where I mean there was a lot of homers, but this team was created with the idea of getting those big hits Like when you get Otto to second, or when you get Edwards to second or third, and then you have Liam Hicks behind him, or Stowers behind him, or Harry Berto behind him, and they get the hit, and there's one run, and you tack on another, two and three and four. I think we need to get back to doing that. I'm not saying that the homers are bad, but I am saying that this team was seeing a lot of success with honestly just getting contact, getting on base, drawing walks a lot. Like that's what Edwards did very good at the beginning of the year. Was either it felt like he was getting a base hit, he was popping out, or he was walking. So yeah, that's just how we're doing it right now.
And Owen Casey being hurt really hurts us there because he probably is one of, if not the most clutch player on our team. Him and Harry Berto, they always seem to come through in the big spot. You know.
Yeah, it felt like they've been very timely. But anyways, last thing you wanted to talk about the deadline.
Uh,
Um,
I do want to say this though that Casey is currently the best sweet spot hitter in the entire MLB, meaning he hits hard. He hits the ball hard with a launch angle between 8 and 32 degrees, and he is currently the best at that in the entire MLB.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of the deadline, the Marlins need a closer, and I'd say they need some corner infielders.
I think we need relievers, bro. I think we got to
Yes,
address the relief pitchers
we
first.
we need a closer. I mean, you got guys like Aroldis Chapman, but with how hot the Red Sox have been lately, I don't think they're looking to sell. Then you got guys like Kate Smith, but then again, the Guardians are also fighting for a
I
playoff
think
spot.
I think you got to go after Weaver from the Mets. I think you got to with how
Yeah,
hot he's been this year. I know the Mets have sucked, but he's been consistently very well for them. And then
um,
obviously third base position is a very big need right now. Graham Pauly actually had a very good game the other day defensively.
yeah,
Uh,
and I maybe because the Blue Jays aren't doing so hot this year, perhaps Louis Varland is on the table for a potential
yes.
trade.
Now I think the bigger question is like we can talk about all these targets and stuff. Are the Marlins even like right now, sitting down, Peter Benedict's has only a few days to decide, like less than a week and a half, I think, right?
I
August
believe the
1st.
trade August 1st. Yes,
Yeah. So he has about a week and a half to decide whether he is going to be a buyer, seller, or do absolutely nothing. So I think that's the bigger discussion right now. Like we can talk about what we need. They know what they need. The office knows what they need. Now the only question is whether they're willing to go after the pieces or not, right? Like we know what we can do. We know what this team is. Like we have discovered ourselves. It's not like there is no surprise this year. It's not like the Marlins are coming out of nowhere. The team has put the league on notice. Now it's whether that the front office believes in this team enough to go make the acquisitions that they need to do to further improve this roster to see if they can make a run near the end of the season. Lastly, we can talk about the rest of the stuff around the league. The Boston Red
of
Sox just
course
picked up
their 15th straight win. They matched their franchise record.
crazy.
Um, Crazy. Their pitching has been on fire. Their starting rotation, their worst pitcher on their starting rotation, early Connolly early. He has an ERA of 3.61, which is still like very good, especially for their worst
Mm-hmm.
pitcher. Their bats have come alive around the league. Bobby Witt is hurt for the first time in his career. He heads to the IL.
Crazy.
Jose Ramirez returns for the Guardians after a 5-week IL sprint. Max Fried is back since like the beginning of the season, where he got hurt. He only went 3 innings today, 5 hits, 3 runs, but that is his first start back. Um, what else? The Athletics rookie, up and coming star Joshua Kuroda Grauer had to leave the game last night after he had a foul ball off his nuts and ruptured a testicle.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was crazy. I did see that.
yeah, he had to go undergo emergency surgery.
I think it's been nothing short of an absolutely ridiculous MLB year, and I think the lockout only adds to it too. Like the looming lockout that these teams are having to decide. Like right now, not only has it just been crazy the games themselves, but like the behind the scene decisions of is there going to be a season next year? Should we make moves now? Should we wait? Like all this stuff is going through not only the minds of the teams themselves, but the fans. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen. It's been absolutely crazy. But anyways, the Astros and the Marlins play tonight at 8:10, game 3 of the series. Low
Tune in.
key, not even low key. It is a must win. This is a must win for the Marlins. We need a little confidence booster right now. And then the 3 game series versus the Padres, huge. And then another 3 game series versus the Phillies. That is a massive series for the Marlins coming up. If they want any shot
Of
at trying to
winning the
come back in
division.
the division, that is a must. That is a must win series. And I think honestly, I'm not saying we will. You got to try and sweep them. I mean, you got to try and sweep every team. But if you can sweep the Phillies, that puts you right back in the conversation of winning the division. Obviously, winning 2 of the 3 is very good. If you win 1 of the 3, it's not looking great. I'm not gonna lie. And if you don't win a single game versus the Phillies, kiss the division away. Like literally, it's done. We're not winning the division if we lose all 3 games to them. So that's gonna do it though for the podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm Carson Cooper and Noah Santiago on the other line. If you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We appreciate you for listening all the way through if you did. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.